Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi, le 2 mai. Pour aujourd'hui, the flip, if you didn't do it yesterday, you may go ahead and do so today, of course. Take a look at your other tasks for the week. Slide numéro 1 has all of the items that you need to do for the week. Aujourd'hui, dans l'histoire, il y a une discussion. Et aujourd'hui aussi, on a une interro listening quiz sur Je suis jalouse, partie 1. Et aujourd'hui dans l'histoire, il y a une discussion plus l'interro sur Je suis jalouse. Aujourd'hui dans l'histoire, aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi le 2 mai, c'est l'anniversaire des événements de mai 68. Et qu'est-ce que c'est les événements de mai 68? En 1968, les étudiants ont manifesté à l'université de la Sorbonne à Paris. Ok, il y a une université qui s'appelle la Sorbonne. La Sorbonne is one of the oldest universities in Europe. It's very well respected. Et les événements, the events of May 1968 took place at la Sorbonne. Ils, les étudiants, voulaient réformer le système éducatif et aussi le gouvernement. Toute la violence de ces manifestations. Okay, manifester, to protest. Manifestation, protests as a noun. Donc, toute la violence de ces manifestations était visible à la télévision. Et d'autres personnes ont décidé de rejoindre les étudiants dans la manifestation. Okay, this is a little bit of a complex subject for French 1, so I'm going to explain this in English, just really the surface level. So, Mai 68, at this point in history, 1968, Charles de Gaulle, who had been a hero for the French in World War II, he had been president for about 10 years, and his politics were very conservative, and a lot of the people in France thought that they were too conservative, that they favored the rich, that people who were lower on the economic totem pole didn't have much of a chance of climbing up that ladder. They thought that the students didn't have enough rights, that workers weren't well enough paid. So basically, if you look at this sign here, étudiants, students, enseignants, teachers, travailleurs, workers, tous unis, all united. So basically, these protests started, people started saying, we don't like what the government's doing, we don't think the government's giving us enough freedom, we don't think the government is giving us what we need. And it started with students, and then other people started joining in because they were seeing what was going on TV. So it just became this huge protest event during the entire month of May, le 2 mai, that was kind of when everything was kind of the climax. So during this month, there were a lot of things that were affected. TV shows, like programming on TV was affected. They weren't able to show much on TV because a lot of people who worked in that industry were on strike. They also had a lot of students and teachers on strike, so it messed up the education system. It messed up the public transportation system because the people who ran the trains and the subway were also on strike. So étudiants, enseignants, travailleurs, that makes up a lot of people who have quite an impact. And when those people go on strike, well, a lot doesn't get done. So eventually, Charles de Gaulle signed an accord with the people who were protesting and said, okay, fine, I'll change my politics. I'll become a little bit more, I'll give more liberty and maybe try to bridge the gap between rich and poor a little better, etc. But then a year later, he ended up resigning. So things changed, but it was very gradual, as is often the case throughout history. Mais voilà. Aujourd'hui, le 2 mai, c'est l'anniversaire des événements de mai 68. Donc, what were these students fighting for? I just said a lot of stuff. Can you cull it down to just kind of one basic thing? And then where did these demonstrations take place specifically? Okay. Je suis jalouse. We watched the video, hopefully, of this yesterday, and you saw me going through and making this little resume of Je suis jalouse partie 1. So today, I want you to read back through it. Il y a une interro. You have your listening quiz on this that's linked here. It is also linked in Schoology, as always. Once you finished this, as well as Aujourd'hui dans l'Histoire, and made sure that you've completed other things that we have done this week, you are all set for today. Merci. Au revoir. Go ahead.
By the way, you guys have a great teacher and I love her.
Aw. Merci, Victoria. Au revoir.